In this video, we're going to be upgrading the interior on our 3rd gen Tacoma with some seat covers from Kustom Interiors. So the OEM seats in your Tacoma might not necessarily be in rough shape, but with these seat covers, we're going to protect them, and we're also going to give the interior some more styling. The kit from Kustom Interiors is going to include all the seat covers you need, including both front seats, the back seats, and all of the headrests. And when it comes to installation of these seat covers, it's going to be fairly easy. You're not going to need any tools, and on a scale of 1 to 3, I would say that these are a 1. Anyone can install these on their truck. Before we get into the installation, I do want to note that these seat covers are made specifically for the seats in the Tacoma. They're not a universal fit, so when you put these on, it's going to take a little bit of effort to get them to fit nice and snug. One tip I can say is put these out in the sun for a little bit prior to installation to loosen up the leather. That'll definitely help you guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start the installation of these seat covers. We're going to go ahead and pull off all the headrests and get those done first. Just pull them up, press in the button here, and pull them out the rest of the way. Get the rear one out here. There's 2 buttons on this, and you're also going to have to lean it forward a little bit, otherwise you're going to hit the headliner. Go ahead and take those off as well. Alright, so we have all of the headrests here. We also have all of the covers. So they are obviously specific. You got the 2 larger ones for your front seats, the 2 smaller ones for your back seats, and then the very small one for the middle of the back seat. All of the covers are going to have a Velcro strip inside, so once you get these into position, you'll go ahead and make this as tight as possible and get the Velcro put together. Just look at the cover, match up the shape to the headrest, and go ahead and start getting it in place. You're just going to have to force it in there a little bit to get it to look the best you can, and then we'll go ahead and pull this tight. We'll get our Velcro in place, and now you're good to go. So for the other 2 covers on the rear headrests, if you look at the headrest, you'll see this is curved for your head, and we want the piping along the side of the cover to stick out. Once you have the cover started on there, we'll go ahead and just put it on a surface that is sturdy. Make sure it's not crinkled up. Give it one last pull. I'll go ahead and make our Velcro nice and tight. There we go. Go ahead and get the rest of these done. The front's going to be the same thing. All right, headrests are done. Let's go ahead and start doing the rest of the seats. So we'll start with this one here. Go ahead and start working it into place. So what I'm doing is, as you can see, there is some slack in there. I'm just trying to work out as much of the loose material as I can, and then pull it tight on the edge. Now we can take our straps, go ahead and pull those tight, clip them together. So this one's going to have 2 that go up and down, and then we're going to have 1 that goes side to side. There we go. Over here on the passenger side, we'll get this one done. Virtually the same thing, except we're just going to have a couple extra clips because this one's a little bit larger. All right, so we got the bottoms done, and I must say, out of the box, these things fit pretty good. Once these are outside and they go through a couple of heat cycles and you sit in them and wear them in a little bit, they're going to loosen up a little bit and fit a little bit better. It's hard to get them exactly where you want them with them being so snug, but I think they look great. So we're going to go ahead and get the backs done, and then we'll move up to the front. All right, so we got the seatbelt tucked through there. At the top, we have a Velcro piece that the seatbelt can go through. And then we also have our square cutouts here for the headrests. So we'll take this and just tuck this underneath the factory seat headrest piece. That'll hold it nicely in place. We also have an opening here for the pull strap. So we can pull that through, and then we also have the headrest pieces here on the center. So now I'll flip this down and get the rest of this pulled around. All right, so we got the seat cover roughly in place, and now I'm just working from one side to the other, feeding these straps through the bottom, getting the straps clipped into the top. As you can see right here on the corner, you have one strap that goes from this lower spot over to this lower spot to keep that corner of the cover together. And then you're gonna have these larger ones that go across the top. And just like on that other side, we have a strap on this corner here. There we go. So moving to the front of the Tacoma, we're gonna go ahead and get these covers on. One thing that's really cool is these offer a pocket on both the driver and passenger seat, where your factory Tacoma seats only have a pocket on the passenger side. So it's a bit of an upgrade there. Installation of the front covers is gonna be pretty straightforward. We have a couple of hooks to grab onto the bottom portion of the seat. We have a couple of these plastic pieces that are gonna be tucked through the seat and then put flat so that they can't be pulled through. And then we also have a zippered portion. The zipper we're gonna be putting towards the door on both sides for the front seats. So we're gonna start with the back of the seat. We're gonna throw this over, get it pulled down. Again, we have the zippered section here facing towards the door. Once we have it pulled down enough, we'll go ahead and get the headrest plastic around those holes. All right, so on the bottom of the seat cover, you have these hooks. And there is something similar to this on the factory piece. So you have to unhook those, reach your hand under there, you'll feel the elastic strap, and then follow that along. You'll find the end of it and unhook those. So as you can see right here, I have the one unhooked. There's two under here. All right, so once both of those are unhooked, you now have access to the back side of the seat, and then you can feed those plastic pieces through where the top of the seat and the bottom of the seat meet, and then we'll twist those. Once they're through there, we'll twist them, lock them in place. That way it can't pull out. So as you can see, we have the three pieces sticking through. Once we have them coming through, I'm gonna take them and twist them like this so that the distance from here to here is the longer side. That's gonna help make sure that this can't pull through. So the back section of the seat is pretty much finished. We do need to leave this unclipped for now so that when we go to put the bottom portion on, we still have access to the bottom of the seat. So we're gonna go ahead and get the bottom installed, and then we'll come back and finish up here. So for the bottom portion, if you look at the cover, you see we have this little bump here, and that would be for your lumbar support if your seat was a manual seat. But since this is a power seat, we don't really need this, and we don't want just a big hump there showing nothing. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is flip this around, put this to the inside, and then this side here will be facing out and hopefully look better. Also, because this is a power seat, we have more trim, plastic trim that runs around the seat. So we're gonna have to fish the seat cover in between that trim and the seat itself. You don't wanna go over that, it's not gonna look right. So I just put the hooks through in between that plastic trim in the seat. And now I'm going to tuck the seat cover itself down in between there the best I can. All right, so I'm having a little bit of trouble here with this bunching up because we have the switches and stuff. So I popped these off. I just took a trim prying tool and just put it back behind there and popped it on both sides. Same with this one. And then we had two Phillips head screws. We took those out, and now hopefully we can get this apart. So now that we have access, I pulled the seat cover down to get rid of where it was bunching up here, and then we're just gonna tuck it back in behind this switch assembly. And that should be pretty good. We can go ahead and get this back up in place, put our screws back in, and that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take those plastic pieces and I'm going to feed those through just like I did with the top. Hopefully get this seat cover pulled back and nice and tight into position. That works some slack here, pull up on the front a little bit to feed this back. So this step isn't necessary, but to make the video a little better for you guys to see exactly what's going on, we are gonna unbolt the seat so that we can tilt it back. In order to take the seat out, we're gonna need a 14mm socket, and we have an impact gun here. There's 4 bolts. We're gonna go ahead and take those out. So we're gonna get these hooks attached underneath the seat. You have a bunch of stuff under here, wires, moving parts, metal pieces. We wanna make sure to route these in the right place and to hook them onto the right place. So you can see the strap right there goes over that bar, and then I have it coming down and hooking onto this metal rod that goes across the seat. You want to make sure that you avoid all the wires. You also have the motor here for moving the seat forward and backwards. You want to avoid all of that. So I did that on both sides. Last thing to do is the clip. Pull that together, and that's it. We'll go ahead and re-bolt the seat down. Seat's bolted back in. We'll go ahead and re-clip the bottom on, and then we'll take the cover and we'll clip that on as well. Both of those are clipped in place. We'll go ahead and zipper this down. And that's it, other than putting the headrest back on. Slip that in. And you can see the drastic difference here between the driver and the passenger seat. This definitely looks much more luxury. So I'm gonna go ahead and bang out the passenger side. That side should be a little bit easier because we don't have all of the electronic components over there, because that is a manual seat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that side done, and then we're finished. All right, last step is the final headrest here, and we are finished with these seat covers. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap this one up for the seat covers from Kustom Interiors for the 3rd Gen Tacoma. These definitely look way better than the factory ones, and this is gonna preserve your factory seats if they are in good shape, or if they're in terrible shape, it's gonna make them look 10 times better. This install wasn't too bad. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me down below in the comments, and if you wanna pick a set of these seat covers up for your Tacoma, you can head over to yodaexpedition.com, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.